Hi and welcome back to a new video. Today we have spring cleaning and a small or a big upgrade on the menu depending on how you're going to be looking at it. First, I need to clean my PC. It's been a while, I have a lot of cats, it's full of cat hair as you can see, and it's definitely something I need to take care of immediately. On top of that, there is something I've been wanting to upgrade on my PC for a while, and I talked about it in the video where I built it as well. And that is, first of all, adding an RGB HUD so that whenever I do want to use RGB and I do want to show it off, I can easily control all of the lights because as of right now, I have more RGB than my motherboard supports, so it's a little bit of a fidgety situation. And then on top of that, we are upgrading the RAM because I just feel like every now and then it bottlenecks me a little bit, so I decided to just go with 4 RAM bars instead of upgrading to another set of 2. So if you disagree with that, I'm sorry, but that's what's gonna happen. And then of course, the very big upgrade that's coming in is going to be putting in this baby in the AMD Ryzen 9 9900X3D. And I'm really excited for this one because I'm still running a rather old Ryzen and this one has really good single core performance for, if you guys know, I play WoW and that game is incredibly single core taxing. So that is going to be something that hopefully gives me a big upgrade. And then we are upgrading the AIO. Ari, freust du dich? Okay, I guess I have to make this video as well. I'm a little confused because I was expecting one of my packages to have my new AIO. For those of you that don't know, I work with the German team of Asus ROG for their TikTok channel, and every now and then they give me some gear just so that I can unbox it and then use it for the time being. That's right. Well, one of these items is the Ryujin Extreme, which I was supposed to get, but I just opened the package and it's literally half a metric ton of Asus ROG merch, which is pretty cool, but it's not what I expected to find in this package. So I might need to postpone this video because I don't have the AIO. I decided to move on without the AIO because it was more of a nice to have upgrade, and I got ready to get this thing done. So first off, of course, we have to open this baby up, and then comes the cleaning part. That one is going to be really important because first of all, when you are changing out some hardware, you do not want any cat hair stuck in between. And trust me, there's a lot of it in here. And then second of all, it's just important to really clean your rig every now and then. I know there's differing recommendations, and I do think it depends a lot on how much dust, how much cat hair and so on you have in your system and whether or not you are running a mesh front, which I really should be, but I'm not. So my PC definitely catches a little bit more of extra dust than maybe some of the other ones. I actually wanted to try and use a lint roller, so let's see if that actually works here. And then we are going to be taking apart everything that's in here for now to make sure we can actually replace the AIO and the CPU, of course. Unfortunately, using the lint roller wasn't as efficient as I thought it should be. So I went back to using Q-tips and fluff-free paper towels just to clean all of the acrylic of my case off of the cat dust. And then, of course, I had to take off my fan cover, and I did want to give a little bit of an update on that because I've now had it for a little over a year, and I'm not sure if my initial pressure was too tough when I screwed it in or if this is just wear and tear from over time, but it broke in 3 different places. I was able to screw it back in without needing to glue it since it is on the backside of the fans and they're protected where those breakages are. I didn't feel the need to, but I was quite disappointed that after such a short amount of time, there was already some issues occurring with the fan covers. Now, I did not want to screw apart all of my AIO fans knowing that I wouldn't actually exchange the AIO, so I just went in with some Q-tips that I dunked in isopropanol in order to get the cat hair off of the exhaust fan from that AIO to make sure that nothing would be covering it. As you can see, a lot of it had already collected up there. After that, it was time to take off my CPU cooler, clean it of all the residue, because I do have plans for the CPU I was using before, and just to make sure that I would get a new clean install of a new amount of thermal paste onto the cooling block. I took everything apart, took the CPU out, put the new CPU in, and then put a new amount of thermal paste onto my CPU, and then screwed in the AIO after also replacing, or I guess adding, my RAM. Now, I said it in the intro as well, you might be saying right now, Migs, this is a really stupid idea, and honestly, great call from you. I should have just upgraded to 2 RAM sticks of a higher GB rather than going for 4, but something in my ooga booga, it should be looking nice brain tricked me, and I went for 4 sticks, and that is going to cause issue later on, but more on that later. After I was finished with adding the thermal paste and putting my CPU cooler back in place, I screwed everything in, shortly checked in with my capture card as well, as it does have a tiny itsy bitsy fan, making sure my GPU was all looking fine, and I put it back in the brackets. Now, there is one thing that I greatly dislike about my CPU in my current case, and that is that it has a little bit of an overhang. Because it's such a massive brick, and that wasn't intended when I got my case, I really need to do something about the sagging of the GPU, so stay tuned for trying to fix that issue in my next video. But when I decided it was time to turn my PC on, it wouldn't post. It wouldn't post at all. It only gave me a yellow LED, and I, in my eager and enthusiasm, had already closed the case again, which, silly me, I of course had to open it again, and I tried a few couple different things. First of all, I tried taking out the new RAM and doing a CMOS reset just to see if something was maybe wrong with the RAM, but that didn't actually do it. Then I realized that this CPU was maybe just a little bit too recent for my BIOS, which hadn't been updated in, quite some time. So I decided to run a little BIOS update, after which it would post even with the 4 RAM sticks in. But I then decided to turn on DOCP, which of course it wouldn't post after that. So there was a lot of back and forth with this little upgrade. And while I was dealing with all of that, I totally forgot that I actually wanted to put in an RGB HUD, because all of the RGBs were suddenly all working, and I didn't even realize that they weren't glitching out like they were before. So somehow I fixed that problem without actually doing something about it. But hey, at least it's fixed, right? So that was done as well, and right now my RAM is running on really low speeds, but I will try to up it just a little bit more. Because I had to turn DOCP off again after the PC not being able to post after turning it on, I had to do another CMOS reset, which nuked all of my fan curves, and I literally had an airport next to me, so I needed to take care of that and put all of my fans back in order. If you're ever having one fan that is just blasting out of nowhere, check your AIO fan, and it will be in your BIOS settings. It is a pain, and I was looking after this for so long to try and figure out what exactly was wrong here. Now, this is not how I imagined the end of this video to go. I was planning on getting you guys some good benchmarks, but because I still need to figure out my new RAM speed, I just don't feel like I can do that in the time that I set myself for this video, so consider this a part 1 of this new build, and I'll give you a full benchmark video of what the new system is capable of in the very near future. I'm sorry, this is not necessarily how I would have wanted it to be, but at least you can enjoy how beautiful my PC is looking now that it's fully cleaned and back to glory. And we all know what kind of tiny little beast is waiting behind that AIO, and I am so eager to test it out for all of you. Hi from my editing desk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was a little bit out there. If you did, consider leaving a like and a subscription. It really helps my channel grow. And I hope I see you guys in the next one. Bye!